Yo, so I'm about to tell you a quick little story, a crazy, wild story about how crazy and how good a woman's control can make a man lose his damn mind and basically change his whole image and shit like that. So, I was working at this job for a couple months. It was a warehouse job and stuff like that. You know, I had been there for about a couple months and stuff like that. I was already acclimated to everybody. Everybody was cool. Everybody knew me on a first name basis. I was friends with everybody to a certain extent. There was some people I did mess with, and there were certain people I didn't mess with. Long story short, it's this dude that started to work there. He was like a real quiet dude at first, stayed to himself, but he took a liking to me. He was cool with me, and one day he just came up to me. He used to walk around with a Bible in his hand, and he used to hand out canned sodas. I'm gonna call him Jeremy. Okay. Jeremy was this cool, nice guy. Like I said, he was a Christian, all this other stuff. He would walk around with a Bible and pass out canned sodas. Over time, he let me know that he was a rapper. And when he started spitting, I was like, yo, this dude got real talent. And I really took an eye to him because I'm like, yo, this dude is really, he's a young dude. He's not necessarily from Baltimore, but he's in Baltimore. This dude is talented. He's lyrical. He's all that. And I'm like, I introduced him to my other homeboy because at that time we was in a crew. I did radio and podcasts and what I'm doing now, and video work. And my homeboy was my manager, and he was managing other acts. So I put him on with Jeremy. Jeremy, the first time that my homeboy, call him Tim heard Joshua rap. He was like, he fell in love with his style and this and that and that. And he was like, I guess he saw dollar signs with him and stuff like that. He's like, yo, if I could push this kid to the forefront and I get this guy, because this guy's got the talent. He just needs just a little bit of polishing and just needs to get a little bit of his charisma and, his act together. And then, we can make something work with this. So he basically took him under his wing and stuff like that, and we became a full-fledged crew. In the meanwhile, Joshua had a crew. I'm gonna call it the Disciples. And he was like, yo, instead of that, I already had a group in Hawaii. I'm from Hawaii. I'm gonna make that group. And, I had the name of Disciples. I'm gonna call this the Baltimore Disciples. So we were the Baltimore Disciples. I was basically the guy that did all the video and the promoting and all that other stuff. My dude Tim, he was the manager. Josh was the rapper. We had another dude, his name was Slick Yo. Slick Yo was, another rapper. We had another dude named Sean. Sean was he was a graphic designer, did all the, the drawings and stuff like that for our logos and stuff like that. And we all became a tight little crew and stuff like that. But in the midst of that, Joshua got cool with a girl named, I'm gonna call her Tamika. Tamika was like, she was cool around the job and stuff like that. She was real cool, real laid back and stuff like that. And she was real friendly with everybody. Because we had all known each other. Before Joshua came into the picture, we already knew each other because we were working for each other for a little bit. So we already knew her. And she was getting to know him. And then one day she just let us know that she had like an interest in him. Like she really had a big crush on him. And he was just like, he fell in love with her. So he said the first time he met her, he fell in love with her. Now, mind you, Tamika had a son and all this other stuff. She had kids and she already had a baby father in the meanwhile. But she told him that she was not done with that situation. She wanted to mess with strictly Joshua. So Josh was like, okay, bet. And they, somehow, some way they linked up, when her baby father, she was still living with her baby father. Tamika was. But she found a way to, like, one of the weekends where he worked crazy hours and he couldn't come home. He was working over. And she decided to invite Joshua over. She invites Joshua over. They do what they do and this and that and other. The next day at work, she comes and talks to me about it. I'm like, okay, it's kind of weird. You're trying to explain the whole situation and stuff like that. While she's talking to me, she's basically, she's explaining it, but she's making it seem like it's not what she thought it was going to be. Like, she was like, yo, he's like really inexperienced. He don't know what he's doing. Like, I was desiring more. He didn't do anything for me. Like, he was just not doing it for me. He wasn't getting it the way I wanted him to get it. Like, he didn't put it down. So I'm like, yo, Josh is my friend. Like, I'm real cool with Josh and shit like that. Like, Josh is like a real nice guy. Like, I don't want to see nothing happen to him. I don't want to see his feelings get hurt. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay in the background. I'm not gonna, mess the situation up. I'm just gonna keep it to myself. Me being the person that I am now, I probably would have told Josh. But hindsight is 2020. So Josh comes in the room and they talk to the situation. They bring up about what happened the night before when they got together and did what they did. They're talking. Now she's switched the whole story. She's made it seem like it was exciting and this and that and other. Or she's like keeping out certain details. She's telling a story. She's agreeing with what he's saying, but she's not really telling him that she really wasn't feeling it. She's kind of making it seem like, in her own way, make it seem like he did what he was supposed to do. So they become a full-fledged girlfriend and boyfriend. With all that being said, they, even though she said she wasn't satisfied, she decided to make this dude her little boyfriend. But to me, she was telling us like, yo, he's our boy toy and stuff like that. So a couple of months, they start talking, they become close and stuff like that. He's like making promises to her, talking about he's gonna do this for her and all this other stuff. And the whole time she's still living with her baby father. Like, he's being oblivious to this. He doesn't know what's going on. Josh is, falling head over heels over Tamika, and Tamika's just, using both of them for the best of her abilities to take advantage of. So later down the line, a couple months go by. She gets all of us. She gets Tim, me, Slick, and Sean in a little row. We stand together and stuff like that. She starts showing. She's like, I want to show y'all something. So she takes a video. She takes a phone out of her pocket. She's like, I want to show y'all something I've seen. Like, y'all, I think y'all gonna think this shit is real crazy and stuff like that. So she opens the video. She goes to a little video section in our gallery and shit. She pushes on it. She sees it, shows us a video. She's in the video laying down. She's ass naked and stuff like that. And then you just see this dude, like with his shit out, and he's like getting, he's getting waxed off by her. And we kind of like, whoa, like, we Joshua's friend, and you still gonna show us a video of you getting, giving your baby father, compensation. So we like, this is crazy that she's doing this. So next thing you know, our friend Josh comes around and she's gone. She's went off to go do her little route and stuff like that. And he's talking about how much he loves her. He's gonna buy her this, he's gonna buy her that. And we like, dude Slick, he's like straight to the point. He's like, yo, I'm tired of you looking like a fool, bro. I wanna tell you, like, yo, she just showed us a video of her just, sucking a nigga off. Like, yo, it's crazy. Like, I want you to stop looking like a boo-boo the fool. She's out here just living foul, man, and you treating her like she's a queen when she ain't about like that. So he automatically gets pissed off and stuff like that, and this and that. He goes to her and asks like, yo, is this real? Is this really real? Like, you my girl, and you showing my homeboys, my partners, a video of you topping a dude off and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, I did that. And she's like, look, that was a test. You failed, and your bitch ass nigga homeboys, they failed because they were supposed to be, a lot less young-minded than what you are. And don't come to me with this bullshit and this and that and other. Whatever I don't care what you gotta say and this and that and other. You need to get out my face, blase blah, and all this other stuff. He, in the midst of this, being so caught up and so in love with this girl, he plays stupid. He decides to get back where he gets with her. He stays with her, and he decides to just cuts us off. He just cuts us off altogether. He's not fucking with us and this and that and other. We have intervention when I'm trying to explain everything to him. Like, he literally just stops dealing with us. A couple months later, we come back to, we find out that, he meets her. He's supposed to be meeting her in her house and stuff like that for a date and stuff like that. And he decides to get there a little bit early. She gave him, access. She left the door unlocked and this and that and other. Not remembering that her and her baby father was, getting it in and stuff like that. And then they end up getting caught by the nigga. And Josh is like, he's distraught. He's down. He's on his luck. He's pissed off. He's hurt and this and that and other. And then he comes back to us, as being our friend and stuff like that. We took him back, but it was kind of like, yo, you really fucked over a whole friendship. And like, the friendship was never the same after that situation. Like, it was just like real crazy. Like, after that, like, we were cool. We were still buddies, but it was never to that point to where we were ever cool again. We didn't deal with Tamika anymore, and it was just coming to the point where it was just like, yo, dudes gotta watch out with the women that they deal with.